Hello and welcome to Warblog. I don't know why I'm wearing headphones. So today I'm going to play this capture of Jinja. It's interesting. I was just sort of sitting there, and there's not a lot of war happening at the moment. It's quite interesting actually. There is sort of no war. I think there's a sort of semi-truce in Libya, and there's peace breaking out all across Afghanistan, and the Syrians don't really look too sort of like they're sort of invading Idlib or anything like that. I think they've got preparations for it, but basically there's not a lot of war. Not that that's a problem for me. It's sort of, I feel that maybe I should be sort of, hoping that Belarus or something sort of, goes into war or something like that. But no, I'm not like that. But I mean, another thing is I'm so busy at the moment with sort of other things that it hasn't really been sort of an issue. But I do like to keep things rolling and moving to some extent. And so anyway, I was sat in the vertical office today, and I looked and I thought I'd go for Uganda, and I did 79 because I couldn't remember when it was, and got this article up. There's no maps or anything. What's this? A Ugandan youth trying out his skill with a looted typewriter in a Kampala street after the end of the Amin regime in the capital. Interesting. Basically, this is well, I mean, I don't know when the Ugandan-Tanzanian war ended, but it sounds as though it's the end of it. Tanzanian artillery and infantry closed on Uganda's second town of Jinja today. And a member of the new Ugandan cabinet said the nearby Owen Falls power complex had fallen into government hands. Anti-Amin forces had feared that the deposed dictator might attempt to sabotage the Owen Falls Dam. I didn't call it the Owen Falls Dam, I call it the Jinja Dam, and power station, which supplies both Uganda and Kenya with water. But blah 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 blah. The Tanzanian advance towards the east is primarily aimed at opening the main road linking Kampala with the Kenyan border. This route is particularly important because it gives landlocked Uganda access to fuel and other essential supplies from the Kenyan port. So I've actually got this all the wrong way around. I thought they were trying to block it. So basically what we're looking at, because it's what it's saying here is at present the only access to Uganda is by air, but Entebbe Airport, after days of shelling and fighting, is in no condition to handle heavy air traffic as all the navigation and loading aids have been destroyed. It says here, following reports that Amin has fled to Zaire or Sudan or Libya during the past week, speculation about his whereabouts is beginning to run out steam. Which is so. However, most observers in Nairobi are sure that if he was still in Uganda, he would have made some form of announcement by now. So clearly at this point, Amin has left the country. So I'm going to have to rewrite this, but I don't think I'm going to do it now. Or shall I? Let me pause the game. Okay, so if I refresh the page. Yeah, so it's lost some text, but Tanzanian forces advanced on Jinja to open the road to the Kenyan border. They also advanced on the Owen Falls Dam, which it was feared might have been destroyed by the Ugandan Army, but it was intact. And there's the Owen Falls Dam there, so I've changed that. It's interesting. It's always interesting, but it's interesting because, again, and might sound boring, but it always amazes me how you can piece history together from newspaper articles and historic sources, but newspaper articles being the source at hand here. I deliberately tried to keep the numbers down and the map big to create a sense of mobility, but if you look at it, there's absolutely no point in this top section of the map being included, really, because you're not going to go up there because there's nowhere to cross the river. This is the dam, so presumably it's flowing this way. I was going to put the dam on both sides, but I can't be bothered. So no point in all these roads, but it took me ages to put all these roads in, but tracks, should I say. This is all the forest actually, but I didn't really want to change it to forest because the forest for Africa doesn't look very good. But I think the key thing that I'm picking up there is that, and I have sort of done it this way, but there really shouldn't be a lot of Ugandan resistance because Amin's gone. They've obviously lost whatever's down here. I don't know what it is. It's because I'm not thinking at all, really. Kampala. So we're over here. So that's where they came. They came up here, along here, over here, through Kampala, and over to here. So it's all quite straightforward when you know what you're looking at. But it should be straightforward, it should be easy. Really, these forces should be a lot weaker, but again, as I said, I've tried to distribute them over just to sort of see what happens, and I'm pretty sure that the Tanzanians should outnumber them, but let's see what happens. Ooh. There's something wrong with my mouse. I think it's because I've got a shiny book. I've been using this book for ages, but it seems that the laser clicking things doesn't seem to work as well as it used to. And I can try and select things and it doesn't do it. Oh, see, I didn't click that. I didn't click that at all. I was just, anyway. No effect. Okay, let's just go straight through this road. Let's see what happens. DR. Okay. Right. So, what do they want to do? If you were playing this sort of properly, or not so much properly, but if you had a custom set of rules, you could have a set of rules so that you have roll to see whether or not any of these units actually just run away at this stage of the war. The whole concept of things being, under full command is, again, it's one of the game limitations, but I'm not going to do that. But I did split them up all deliberately, just to make it sort of, not like one big front line or something, but you've got to remember that Amin's been gone for a week or so, but they don't have television and they probably don't know this exactly. No one knows quite where he is, so they're probably still prepared to put up a defence, but the Ugandans were known for not really fighting. They weren't very good. They were running away, and I think the Tanzanians said that the Ugandans were their best armourers because they just leave all their heavy equipment behind. That's where they got it from. But what to do? I mean, I think naturally we want to defend along this river line. So we want to do two things. We want to delay their advance, and we want to defend as much as we can in these locations. So these infantry units, as we might imagine, are going to be not to defend. So I'm going to pull these back. Lots of mechanized, like artillery. I mean, we've only got 2 points, 2 crossing points. But do we want to prepare a spoiling attack of some sort? Now these towns look like they could be defensive points along the road. And he's been hit back. So we'll use him to fall back against this thing here. Okay, well I think that's sort of enough considering I'm completely exhausted. So I've got more units there. Four to what? 6 to 1 DE. Let's use the artillery first. I like the way they're forming up a nice line, as though they're deliberately falling back. Okay, that's looking good. it's definitely an interesting game, but I think the interesting thing is it's a generous map. We're obviously at the last stages of the Tanzanian-Ugandan war. It'd be interesting to know when it stopped. Actually, I can't remember. Wait, look it up. But it's quite clear that the Ugandans really don't have anything to counter this with, and that's only going to get worse because there's 7 turns of these things coming on. So we're going to have 7 more stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be massive. But if just following this road along, and these people are, well, doing their best to sort of reduce the speed of that advance. What's he doing there? I think we really want to be moving them back as well. But the question is, do we want to actually do any counter-attacks? But I just simply don't think there's any scope for that. So it's really just a case of waiting for an opportunity. He's not been hit yet. He's on 7.2. He's on 3.8. They're going to get decimated this turn. So let's stick them into one pile. Okay. Well, going into one pile won't help you. That was good artillery. Oh, look at that. The road to Jinja is open. I'm not sure about the numbers, but I think it's quite a believable scenario. They're just not the Ugandans there to offer that defence. So it's really now more of a race. To get across this bridge. Oh, get across the bridge. It's actually a dam. Should be able to do that. .8. And again, another falling back defensive line. Okay. I think now we want to consider whether or not we want to target this or this, or whether there's anything we can do right now to tactically or strategically, so to speak, cut these units off from there. Can we get there somehow? That's interesting. Only this armor could get anywhere near. It should be a 2 or 3 to 1. That's interesting. It's happening just like you might imagine it should. Interesting. Can he actually even get there? All of these. Are we in artillery range yet? Yes. Oh, look at that. What a shame. See that? I clicked it and it's off. I'm playing silly buggers. Okay, so we've drawn some blood. I like artillery. It's armoured, so. Okay, well, we've got to act quickly because otherwise we can get pummeled with artillery. Can we just punch straight through that? Well, mechanized might be better. Some armor. Okay. Let's just pile drive straight through there. Look at that, I keep clicking on them and it's my mouse, something wrong with it. Oh, look at that, the big battle of Jinja came out as an exchange. What was that? That would be a historic moment, wouldn't it? The battle of Mickey, what is that? I can't see that. Makobo town. The battle of Mabiko town. With a brave defence by the Ugandan forces against the onslaught of the mighty Tanzanian advance. That would have been nice if we could have just somehow got there. We might be able to cut all this stuff off from the bridge. That's 6. Right. Well, we've attacked this, which would be nice, so we can definitely win against that. We've only got one attack. Let's fight against these. Oh, look at that. That's what I like about these games. You get this. It's such an understated outcome. But this line is held against 2 attacks. Or we could have gone for the end and won. We could have beaten those because they're 8.8. They're basically not there. Look at that. I wonder if the Times newspaper will write a report about that. Okay, well, they definitely want to get across the river. Let's put him somewhere. I'll leave him there. I've got 2 units in there. We've got to get across this river. Right. So how are they going to do this? Oh look, we've got artillery. Well, look at that, a nice big stack there. It's not over. How about this? Another exchange. Now, there is a lot more artillery that comes on turn 8, and I deliberately did it then because my intention was that the Tanzanian player should think strategically, which is what I haven't done. Basically position their units so that the artillery they can come in. And it's always a conundrum to me to think of it like that, because it would be such a boring game if you did it like that. If you did it properly, it would be a boring game, because you'd have to keep everything sort of out of range of their artillery, so it'll be about here. You have to wait 8 turns for the artillery just to appear, then you have to move it really slowly, maybe another 10 turns until it was in range, maybe about there, and then just sit there firing the artillery range. But that would be how to do it, because we've got a problem, we can't necessarily get across that river. Let's see what we can do here. Another exchange. That's 4 exchanges in a row. I think the Ugandans are going to get a moral victory. How far can this guy get? We can almost counter-attack against this stack. We might be able to counter-attack against it. No, not quite yet. I don't want to try that. We've been doing very well with the active defense, I think. Okay. And here's more units coming in. They win a battle. How come? Maybe I didn't click him. Clearly I didn't click that one into the battle, so he's stuck. I want to push these over to the side so they don't go over the bridge. Yeah, so they should be over there now, so we should be able to now push into there, cutting them off. Interesting, he's stuck now. Move. Okay, I'm not going to attack that stack, and that's obviously the bridge. Oh, everything's so slow now, what's wrong? Okay. Well, it would be nice to get rid of them. Can the Ugandans pull off this heroic retreat? Can they do it? Oh, no, they can't. Well, that wasn't good. Well, this artillery is probably going to be in range now. And there's all the other artillery, look. So now what we've got to do is get across this bridge. I should be able to push them out. Oh, look at that, eliminated. But what we sort of would like to do out doesn't really matter. They're dead. Can attack them now. Yep. Right. Four. Okay. Okay. This artillery is going to move 2 exits at a time. Oh, come on. Move. Do we want to attack across the river? Probably not. Let's do an attrition across the river. And that will give us a sense of the odds. I never know how it does that, but it seems to do that. I should really make that white so it's obvious. Let's see, 1 to 2. Okay. Well, we really want to sort of continue to blow these people up, I guess. It's a war of attrition. We're going to get them sooner or later. Come on. Yeah, let's go for it. Or not. Let's push him here. He wants to really sort of maybe get around there. That's interesting. Okay. We're not in range yet. finish these guys off, I guess. We'll wait on that. Okay. Let's get his artillery in range. It's so slow. Oh, we've got some artillery in range now. Got him. Okay. Well, they're running out of options, but I think it's safe to just continue piling in on the artillery. Oh, come on. No effect. It's like a bad fruit machine. Okay. Not long now. Okay, so it's now an artillery exchange. They've got to lose something soon. Now I'm pressing the button. Right. It's their turn, isn't it? Do we want to swap anything out? No, let's just leave them. They are actually recovering whilst they're there. Okay. Next turn will be in range. Oh, come on. Right. Fire the artillery back. The thing is, they're recovering as well, but not great. Not when they're being hit like that. Yeah, they're suffering. Yeah, well, that'll put them in range anyway. Next turn. Oh, 3 minutes. 7 minutes left. Come on. See, it's a complete waste of Tanzanian units. If I had just held them back until the artillery could have got in. I think the armour can fire across the river. But let's try it. Oh, come on. It's clicking things in. 7-1, we got the artillery. Force them back. That was interesting. I'm getting tired of this mouse not clicking properly. Come on. It really affects the sort of high level thinking. You can't think of that at a high level when you're having these basic problems, which is the essence to Microsoft. They engineered dysfunctionality and to cause frustration. Now the game is on. And they're going to fire back with our artillery. In theory. Come on. It's definitely it's definitely the shiny nature of this book, but I've not had that problem before. There's another unit routed. Tanzanian High Command is not happy with this. Oh, that's good. Did we kill something? Looks as though we lost a unit. Let's see what we can do. An exchange, but we routed something. But we've only got 2 minutes left. Oh, it's just this mouse. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, they're just routing all half the Tanzanian army. Oh, they didn't reinforce. Well, this is it. I've got less than a minute to go now. Less than a minute. It won't take me that long, just have to click these bloody check boxes. Oh, an exchange. I'm going to leave it at that. I think we're going to get across the river, but that is an interesting game. I think well balanced and effective. Okay, well I've got to go because it's any second, so I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.